The points are shared at the Amex. It ends Brighton 2, Tottenham 2. Giving my thoughts in today's video on that performance and result, which leaves Tottenham with their first draw of the season. So stay tuned to the very end. Keen to get you involved too. If you're new to the channel, please like and subscribe. Welcome back. Let's get straight into it and I hope you're all keeping well. I think overall, we have to take the point in terms of, say, that's a decent result. Being 2-0 behind, I think we showed, in my opinion, real team spirit, real fight, real determination, good overall attitude, fighting for each other to get back in the game, a much better second half. And if I'm honest with you, it could and should have been more. That's a frustrating thing. I think we were pushing for so long and 2-1 down for ages when it should have been 2-2, knocking on the door, and we left it late to get that second and couldn't quite do enough to go on and get that third. I think at 2-2, when we got that second goal, we didn't do enough then for me to win it. A couple of chances. I think Kuda's frustrated with himself at one point. We should have crossed the ball and etc. But I think generally where we were at our best is when we were 2-1 down. That's when we should have got that equaliser earlier. But Xavi Simons for me changed the game coming on in the second half. It's crazy how he didn't start. I'm all for rotation. I think it's sensible. Some of the rotation we saw today, Xavi Simons, you could argue as well. But one thing's for sure, when he did come in, he made a big difference. I think Xavi Simons would always make a difference when coming on. I think he made more of a difference considering he played that number 10 role for the first time. He absolutely thrives in that position. He did thrive, and that is his best position. 100% nailed on. But, it's just frustrating because we performed well and we could have done more. For me, it's just two avoidable goals, in my honest opinion. First goal from Mentes, a really well taken goal. I don't want to take anything away from Brighton because of that, but realistically, I think good possibility we should be playing him offside. I think he does very well to stay onside. Maybe more luck than anything. Definitely is onside, I'm not saying that, but it's whether we can play him offside or not. Goes around for Vicario. So a nice goal from Brighton, but in terms of avoidables, that second Brighton goal, I love Lucas Bergwall. I think he's got big head on his shoulders, really, really bright future. I see him going up here, the next kind of level, and I honestly think he can go so far. I think he's a magician, honestly, I really do. Top player at the very top of of everything. Europeans' greatest, Ballon d'Or winner in the future, etc. I don't want to kind of put expectation on him or hinder his development, but I'm excited. But the point is, he still started the season well, but he made a mistake in this game. I think he's boxed into the corner, yes, but he should do better. Gives it away cheaply. But then it's about how you recover from an initial mistake, something Tottenham didn't do very well. And Vicario, for me, has got to be doing better. I think he flaps it a little bit, maybe it's surprised. I think more surprises him that it was taken from that distance. The shot occurred from that foul out from Owari. I think we were all stunned, so maybe that's what caught Vicario and he couldn't react in time. But either way, as a goalkeeper, you've got to prepare for unexpected situations. That's what a lot of his training will be about. But I want to focus on the positives here because we did show that fight. Simons clearly did make a difference in the 10, so I'm very happy with that. I just think Odobey, I like him, and I'm surprised to see him start. All four of them starting, but to be on 70 minutes for a player who hardly made any impact is interesting. And when you have Telvin Johnson on the bench, it's something I don't personally agree with, but hey ho, from Tottenham, I think we'd be happy with the performance, and we've got to be honest here and look at it and go, we lost this game last season, we've lost a few times at Brighton away, it's been a difficult place to go, and Brighton's record against top six clubs altogether, but particularly at home at the Amex, is quite impressive. They beat Manchester City here, there are no pushovers, but I just felt that we were the better team for large parts of that game, in particular in the second half, and we just couldn't quite have that killer instinct, which is frustrating. But overall, I'm happy. I think it's a decent point, recovered from a really sticky and difficult situation. So credit to Frankie's coaching staff, the players are pulling it together in delivering that draw, but it just could have been so much more. It's frustrating, of course, the way that you can see. So a lot to take out this game, but Alexis Simons, I think, got playing that number 10 role. Also took out of it, I don't think, and I've said this before, Bentancur and Paulinho together. I like them both, two very good players, two very good defensive players, but they both do a very similar job. For me, it's got to be one or the other. I think a midfield balance was wrong from the start, and that's the problem. But to get a 2-2 draw against Brighton, not starting Simons, Wani being unavailable was a real shame. I like Richarlison, but I felt we just lacked that clinical edge, that top striker. I think we're really lacking at the moment with both Wani and Solanke out. I love Richarlison, but I just felt we just needed a poacher at times, and balls in the box, etc. Could have had a tough afternoon, got more out of De Kruger up against him as the game kind of went on. and I think to the point where Brighton did make changes. So overall, we'll take it. At the start of the day, I probably wouldn't have taken it, but now you say to me, Harry, you're 2-0 down, your team's struggling, and you turn it around, I go, yes, but also if you tell me you're the better team for large parts of the game, in particular in the second half, of course you're going to be frustrated going into it expecting to win as well. But for Brighton, they always seem to pull out a decent result against the top six side when they need it most, and I think Brighton will be frustrated deep down, but I think at the start of the day, if you said to any Brighton fan, and I did speak to quite a few, even on my channel, they would have taken a draw. So hindsight, very important. That's the thing. It's easy to say, we'll take a draw, we'll take this, we'll take that, but for example, Tottenham fans, no real Tottenham fan I don't think would have taken a draw, very few anyway at the Amex today, but being 2-0 down in that second half, or 2-0 down for large parts, I think we would have taken it now overall. But thank you very much for watching. Player rating video will be out soon. Hope you enjoyed the video. Get involved in the comments below with your thoughts, but for now, a massive come on, you Spurs.